Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, RK Kaloyski. So if you could check out the screen, so there are the three social media accounts. So Facebook, RK Kaloyski, Instagram at RK Kaloyski Cards, and of course, if you're new to this channel, RK Kaloyski Cards. So hope you could also like and subscribe. Ring the notification bell if you like the videos. And hopefully I could create more content in the future box breaks, personal box breaks, so we could review more boxes from Panini. Okay, so for this video I'll be focusing on the Boston Celtics. I'll be showing you my current collection. So it's like a history tour of the Boston Celtics, of what's on my album and what's left of my collection. So for now, let's go to the 60s, 50s. Let's go to Bill Russell. Of course, the Boston Celtics is synonymous with Bill Russell. The most number of rings, 11 rings, and the Boston dynasty won't be complete without the great Bill Russell. He's a living legend. Bill Russell Retro Series, same photo used. And John Havlicek, of course, Hondo stole the ball. Very famous replay or highlight. Hondo stole the ball. And of course, the 80s legend, living legend, Larry Bird, Larry's Bird, Scoring Kings. A Boston Celtics collection won't be complete without a Larry Bird card. So, Scoring Kings, premium stock, and status symbol. So that's it for the Larry Bird cards. My next one is DJ, Dennis Johnson. So if you saw the highlight where Larry Bird stole the inbounds play, the ball from the inbounds play of the Detroit Pistons, and he passed it to DJ to win the playoff game. So that's one of the best highlights of the 80s. Larry Bird almost stepped out of bounds, but he managed to pass the ball, and DJ converted the layup. Okay, so if you would notice, I don't have a Robert Parrish and a Kevin McHale card, so I think I should be looking for those to complete the 80s Boston Celtics. Of course, after the 80s, 90s, Larry Bird until the early 90s, 1992, before he retired because of back problems, Boston had no other star. So Boston lost potential superstars in Reggie Lewis and Len Bias. Len Bias was even considered as one of the best incoming college players, but he passed away before even starting one NBA game. So that was a big blow for the Boston Celtics. So from Larry Bird, Boston became so mediocre until the years that this star came in. He came in with Antoine Walker, and he became the truth. Nothing but the truth. So let's start with this one. So he came from Kansas. He played for Kansas, and Boston drafted him. If I remember, I'm not sure if it's still Rick Pitino coaching Boston who drafted him. So there's a Panini Billions, Prism, Winner Stats, Focus, Rookie Exclusives. So if you're wondering where I got the Paul Pierce cards, there's a collector here in Cebu. I think it's Zebek Celtic. I got it from him. So from Paul Pierce, let's move on to, of course, one of the greatest point guards ever, my idol, Rajon Rondo. So these are only Boston Celtics Rondo cards. Of course, he has already played for so many teams, but I think his best years was with the Boston Celtics when he was performing triple doubles with insane stats before Russell Westbrook was doing it. I think Rondo was the one before, who also is the smallest one to perform triple doubles on a nightly basis. Rondo. His best years was with Boston. Too bad. But I'm happy for him to win a ring. Also as a Laker, even though I'm a Celtic fan, I think he deserves that. He deserves all the credit. So let's move on to the next phase of the Celtics. After moving on from Rajon Rondo, Boston had a very rough few couple of years, but I think Danny Ainge managed to pull out some trades to make Boston better. So it was a series of trades, and Boston was left with very few stars. Actually, there are some years where there were no stars at all, and Boston wasn't performing very well. So they got, let's start from here. They got Marcus Smart as a rookie. Marcus Smart Prism. But before Al Horford, they got this guy. They got IT. So I think IT revitalized the Celtics franchise, and I think he deserves more of what he's experiencing today, because I think he doesn't deserve to be sidelined or not be playing at any team, because he made Boston relevant again. I think the Brink struck comment was blown out of proportion, and I think while he was healthy and playing for Boston, he really gave it all. He proved that in spite of being the last pick on the draft, he became an MVP contender during his best years in Boston. He became Mr. Fourth Quarter. And after IT, actually they got to play together, IT and Al Horford. They made Boston not a super team, but not a powerhouse, but a contender in the Eastern Conference for a couple of years. Of course, IT got traded for Kyrie Irving. And I don't have any Kyrie Boston cards. I think I already sold them. So the next phase, they got their new stars, young stars in Boston. Of course, the first star the first young star, Jaylen Brown. They got him as a third pick. I think this was from the Brooklyn Nets, still from the Brooklyn Nets trade that involved Paul Pierce. Jaylen Brown, still Jaylen Brown. I think if he wasn't injured this past season, I think he became an all-star and he broke out of his shell. He became an offensive threat and also a defensive threat. Of course, after Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum the next year. So these are 3 hoops cards, but the other one is a winter version, base hoops card of Jason Tatum. So if you notice, I only have a few Tatums left because I already sold them, because his cards are the most valuable ones at the moment. Of course, after Tatum, they also got Kemba after they released Kyrie. After Kyrie left them for the Brooklyn Nets. So Kemba was a free agent, and I think they got him for a sign and trade. Looked like a sign and trade. So Kemba. So guys, if you would be asking me if I was trading these cards, if I'm planning to trade these cards, I'm planning to trade the Kemba cards. Just message me on my Facebook page, RK Kaloyski, or at Instagram at RK Kaloyski Cards. I'm selling these Kemba Walker cards. Of course, this season they got new rookies in Peyton Pritchard and Aaron Nesmith. I think Aaron Nesmith has a good potential to be a flashy scorer or a streaky shooter. And of course, Kemba again. I'm selling Kemba cards, guys. He's off to OKC for Al Horford. So Al Horford is back to Boston. Okay, so we'll be going back to the collection. So here's the Rondo. You've been seeing this Rondo card since my previous videos. 154 out of 399. I really love this card. I'm not planning to sell this one. Let's put Rondo here. So Jaylen Brown, rookie card, RC, Panini Threads. Jaylen Brown, Court Kings. Jason Tatum, Court Kings. Aaron Nesmith, Prism. Peyton Pritchard, Prism. Peyton Pritchard, Hoops, Winter. Peyton Pritchard, Hoops, Base. And the Paul Pierce game used card. So the enclosed game worn material is guaranteed by Panini America Incorporated. So if you would notice, I have a lot of lacking NBA players, NBA Celtics players from the collection, and my Kevin Garnett cards have been sold. So if in the future, if I have budget to collect again, I would be adding KG and Ray Allen cards to the collection. And also, hopefully, more Tatum cards. I'll be looking out for them in trades, or for those who would want to sell them. You could message me as well on Facebook or on Instagram. So that's it, guys. That's my Boston Celtics collection so far. And if you're a Boston Celtics fan, please hit me up. Or if you have cards also to offer, just contact me on Facebook or on Instagram. So that's it. So see you guys for my next content, and I hope you could like and subscribe. Please ring the notification bell so you would be notified of future videos. So thank you guys, and God bless. God bless.